Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kalen Evans coming to you live with another one. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about some pretty crazy stuff. I got an article out of Kitco I'm going to start with here today. It's basically saying Biden's 2025 budget proposal seeks to raise capital gains tax to 46% and eliminate crypto tax loopholes. Just jumping right into it, it says investors could be in for an unpleasant surprise next time they do their taxes, as Biden proposed the highest capital gains tax in over 100 years since capital gains tax was introduced. Okay. And they're actually saying long-term capital gains qualify dividends to 44.6%. And in some states, it would be even higher because the combined federal and state capital gains tax would exceed 50% in many states. So if you were to buy something for $100,000 and it raises to $200,000, you'll pretty much be on the hook for half of the appreciation of that asset. So you'd be on the hook for $50,000. You would then have to pay the government for you profiting, spending money on something you already paid taxes on, and then you're going to pay taxes on the profit as well, right? And then we're going to tie this all together here in a second. But yeah, this increase in capital gains tax is really wild because in the face of rising inflation, in the face of insane government spending, and also just tie in with the inflation, the cost of living increasing so much, they're really putting people in a really hard position here, not letting people really prosper. Ultimately, I can't remember, and I actually tried to find it. I read a book, and essentially they were saying one of the things they wanted to do to destroy America was to disincentivize entrepreneurs and pretty much destroy the American dream. And they're doing that in multiple ways. One, through taxation, theft through taxation. Also, the overspending of the government, which causes more inflation, which is a silent tax, or it's just not seen or stated. This is where they get you, on the DL. And ultimately, they're disincentivizing people to pursue things that would, bring them into a higher economic status. So that's basically what I'm seeing here in regards to the tax, hikes. I think it's really wild that they go and they overspend our money and then they tax us more. It's almost like they're trying to make us poor. And honestly, that's what I do think they're doing, because once you get it to the point where it's so hard to make it to that next status, people won't try because it's just too difficult, or it's not even worth it when you get there. And then I got another story here speaking about taxes. So we just talked about the capital gains tax. And this is out of Reuters. We got, and this is a little older, but this is coming to America. It says Trudeau government survives no confidence vote over Canada carbon tax rise. It basically says Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal government on Tuesday survived a no confidence motion brought by the opposition Conservative Party over Canada's carbon tax. So let me just explain what this is. Basically, what they're trying to do is another way to tax and hold back the average middle class and lower middle class and poor citizens. This overwhelmingly affects middle class and lower middle class and poor. Okay. Basically, what they're saying here, I'm not going to read the article directly. I've read up on it quite a bit. Basically, what they're planning and what they're saying is that they're going to start taxing people based on the amount of carbon that they emit. So the way they're planning on tracking those things is putting sensors in people's cars to see how much you drive. This also goes into the cow farts they say is destroying the ozone and destroying the planet. So this is going to affect what you eat, how you travel, ultimately what you do. Just another way they're tearing down and taking and stealing the wealth from the middle class and the lower class. I just got one question. Where's the money going? right? If they were to institute this this carbon tax, where's the money going? We know that we have social programs such as Social Security and things like that, which, you know, we put our trust and confidence in the government to make sure that, you know, our tax dollars in regards to you know, Social Security are going to the right place to ensure that there's a safety net for people who are older in life and not able to work. But why is Social Security insolvent? A lot of these organizations are insolvent. FDIC is insolvent. Where's the money going? What are they spending our money on? They're constantly bringing out new tax without a tangible result that benefits the taxpayers. It seems like a lot of our money's just going to war. We're just a warring country. We just have warmongers as leaders. You know, not all of them, but many. I do think, honestly, many of these people are bought and paid for. And you can just see that in what they do. Don't listen to what these people are saying. Watch what they are doing. They say we're here to help, and then they increase taxes ridiculously. Or they say we're looking to do good in this way, and then they go and overspend on the federal budget by $1.5 trillion. Or however much they really want to. And then you have to ask yourself, if they can just print money out of nowhere, what is the point of taxes? And it really seems to me that they want their cake. What is it? They want their cake and they want to eat it too, or whatever it is. It's basically like, we're going to tax you to do things around the country, and we're going to tax you more to do more around the country, and then we're going to overspend on what we're taxing you on, creating more inflation, creating a harder living situation for you. You guys see that, right? And it's not getting any better. You know, especially in regards to how we're dealing with diplomatic and relationships around the world with these different countries who are divesting from the dollar because they clearly see we cannot be trusted with money. And I completely agree with them. I think maybe if America was more responsible fiscally, I think a lot of these issues wouldn't necessarily be there the way they are. Like, where is the money going? Where is the money going? How many times have we heard about situations where, oh, the Pentagon doesn't know where this $50 billion went? You know, we're sending all this money to Ukraine, and you know, come to find out. Let me see if I can find this really quick. I actually heard something the other day. This is in Zelensky funneling. I think they said $400 million. Okay. Trying to find a reputable news. Let's just check out what Time Magazine. No, that's in 2022. Let's see. Okay, let's just see what this is. This is the Eurasian Times. So it says Ukrainian war, Zelensky embezzled. Okay, so one thing as well is when I was looking for this, I was looking for a mainstream U.S. You know, a mainstream U.S. Legacy media. But again, when they want to control a narrative, and one of the narratives that they want is that we need to be in Ukraine, so they can't have a lot of that negative publicity getting out. But I've heard from quite a few places that Zelensky's embezzled like $400 million or something like that, buying properties in different countries and things like that, while his people are out there getting slaughtered. Just heard yesterday, 600,000 dead Ukrainians. And we just keep sending them more money, using them as meat bags to fuel the machine. Okay, so let's just read this, kind of see what it says here. Because I actually haven't read any specific articles on this. I actually just got this information from a trusted independent news source. But it says Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky embezzled hundreds of millions of dollars that the U.S. allocated for the purchase of fuel, according to Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Seymour Hersh. Look at that. That's a reputable person, right? So essentially it says in his blog, Hirsch writes, the Ukrainian government headed by Vladimir Zelensky has been using American taxpayers' funds to pay dearly for vitally needed diesel fuel that is keeping Ukrainian army on the move in this war with Russia. I haven't read this, so we're just going to see what it says. It says, it is unknown how much Zelensky government is paying per gallon for fuel, but the Pentagon was paying much as $400 per gallon to transport gasoline from a port in Pakistan via truck or parachute into Afghanistan during the decades-long American war there. The issue of corruption has been directly raised with Zelensky in a meeting last January in Kiev with the CIA director William Burns. His message to Ukrainian president: I was told by intelligence official with direct knowledge of the meeting was out of a 1950s mob movie. Senior generals and government officials in Kiev were angry at what they saw as Zelensky's greed. So Burns told the Ukrainian president because he was taking a larger share of the skim money than was going to the generals. Burns also presented, I'm not going to read too much more of this, just want to kind of, get an idea what they're talking about here. Burns also presented Zelensky with a list of 35 generals and senior officials whose corruption was known to the CIA and others in the American government. Zelensky responded to the American pressure 10 days later by publicly dismissing 10 of the most, so he publicly dismissed 10 of the most ostentatious officials on the list and doing little else. So they know they have these issues in regards to corruption. But again, where's our money going? This is where our money's going. Our money's going $5 billion to Iran earlier this year. And then we're funding Israel. We just passed like a $95 billion package to Ukraine, Israel, and I believe Taiwan. And there's a lot of corruption in the Ukrainian government here. It's just when you look at what's actually going on rather than what they're saying with their lying mouth flaps, it looks like they're spending all of our money like some drunken sailors, and they're trying to get more by taxing us more. In addition to that, inflation's running out of control. So what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Our government officials are overspending. Inflation's on the rise. People like Jamie Dimon are saying that we may have to spike interest rates because inflation is going back up. Now, a narrative that I do subscribe to because it's been completely correct so far is by a gentleman I follow named Economic Ninja. And essentially what he says is going to happen is because they have not, and this is last year he was talking about this, he said because inflation is not under control, what's going to end up happening is probably around elections, what they're going to do is probably do a head fake and drop rates a little bit because they've done it. And he goes through, shows all the charts and things. I don't have them, but I can find them if I want, but I'm not gonna. So you can either take my word or you can go look it up for yourself. But essentially what he was saying is that they're going to do a head fake just to make things appear as if they are good. If you are plugged into what's going on financially, the Federal Reserve has no justification to lower rates. And if they do, it's probably going to be political because the unemployment rate, here in the country is relatively low. We are losing full-time jobs and replacing them with part-time jobs. But again, the unemployment rate is low, so no justification to cut rates there. And also, what else goes into that? Just had a little brain fart, but that's what happens when you're doing these videos. But yeah, so long story short, and we're going to wrap it up here because my mind's getting kind of fuzzed. But long story short, these people are spending all of our money, doing nefarious things around the world at the cost of human life. They're encouraging it, not looking to make any real deals in regards to, solving things peacefully. And I don't know where they're going with this, but, if they spike the interest rates, that's going to absolutely crash the banking industry because they're already underwater in their treasury portfolios as well as with commercial real estate. If they spike those rates, they're going to be even more underwater. you know, and ultimately if people decide that they don't feel their money is safe in the banks and they start taking that money out of the banks, we're going to see some crazy stuff go down. But we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, share, and comment. I'm going to try, I think, break down more, like, more articles and things. See if we can take our content more in that direction so we kind of have like a guideline or a direction, right? But yeah, if you enjoyed it, I'm going to be back, guys. I hope you're enjoying the sound as well. I got a little upgrade here with the mic and things. Noticed poor audio quality before, but hopefully it's better. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go on and get on with my day. Big love, stay safe, and peace.